What a night of football we all experienced last night. Last night was the 22nd day in the month of January 2025. It was the seventh league stage game in the UCL, the league stage game in the UCL, and we had a couple of upsets yesterday. Manchester City, we are leading at the 53rd minute against our PSG side by 2-0. 50th minute, Grealish scored, Haaland scored at the 53rd minute to make it 2-0, and we thought, fine, Manchester City, they are back, because over the weekend they won against an Ipswich United by 6-0, and this headed into the Champions League 7th game of the league format. We were like, fine, 2-0, it is done and dusted for Man City. Man City, we are winning 2-0. However, a certain Luis Enrique of PSG had a lot of cockroaches in his cupboard, a lot of skeletons in his cupboard. First off, before we start talking about the cockroaches and the skeletons and the upsets that happened last night, good day and welcome to yet another edition of Sports Hub with Ebere. My name is Ebere Oji, your anchor, your host on the show, being aired on Spotify for podcasters. Here on the show, we give to you, or we bring to you rather, sports updates and across Europe's top leagues, sporting updates, events across Europe's top league. You are welcome, you are welcome once again. We had a couple of games, a couple of upsets yesterday. City were winning against a PSG side by 2-0 at the 53rd minute. First half ended goalless. Both teams didn't really play well in the first half. We had in the first half, it was expected goals XG for both teams. It was 0-0. Shots on target in the first half for PSG was 3. Shots on target for Man City 3. Shots off target for Man City. They didn't have any shots off target. Three of their shots were on target in the first half. While shots off target for PSG had 2. In the second half, however, things changed for the better at some point for Man City, because we thought, okay, fine, Grealish scored, broke the deadlock at the 50th minute, and Haaland added another goal, making it 2 goals 3 minutes after Grealish goal, and we thought, fine, it is 2 goals. I don't see PSG, they don't have that bite. Like I said in the intro, Luis Enrique had cockroaches and skeletons in his cupboard, because 3 minutes after Haaland's goal, Dembele said, we are going to leave here with a win. Dembele scored at the 56th minute. Bakola scored 4 minutes after, that's at the 60th minute. Neves scored at the 78th minute, and Ramos made it 4-0 at the 93rd minute. It was a huge and a major upset. I can't remember the last time a Man City side lost against the PSG side was when Messi was there. It was in 2021. Game ended 2-1, if I'm not mistaken. 2-0 here, and you're fine. Manchester City are finally getting or returning back to winning ways in the Champions League. It's been an underwhelming performance for them in the Champions League this season. And now with this win, we thought, fine, it's 2-0. It is game over for PSG. PSG said no, and they returned with a huge upset. Not even 2-2. It ended 4-2, handing Pep Guardiola yet another defeat. Their first defeat of the year. They have not lost any game this year. They've won against the likes of West Ham, drew against Brentford, won against Leicester, trashed Ipswich FC in EPL by 6-0. Like, it's been, nice records for Man City. After a terrible and torrid season in November, December, they just won their last game in December. All three, it's been from one, heartache to another for their fans. And now we thought last night was going to be a smooth walk for them, having gone 2 goals up. But it did not happen. They lost that game by 4-2. They lost that game by 4-2 against a resurgent PSG side. In fact, PSG had shots on target, 6 shots on target. While Man City had those 3 out of the 2 they had, it was 2 of them that went in as a goal. While for PSG, 6 shots on target they had, 4 of them were converted as goals. For ball possession, PSG, they were the better side to an extent. Yes, At the at the second half of the game, it ended 63 ball possession for PSG against Man City's 37. They had 7 corner kicks. PSG had 7 corner kicks, and Man City had just 1. Offside, well, looking at the stats, it's just the throw-ins that Man City had a better one against PSG, just 10-9. I asked, what exactly happened yesterday? Because come on, you can't throw away 2-goal lead. This same thing happened against Brentford. They were winning Brentford in the league by 2-0, and they ended up drawing that game. If they had added an extra 10 minutes in the game against Brentford, I think Brentford should have scored. Brentford would have won the game against Man City. You ask yourself, or you ask these questions: are they truly back? Are they truly back? From the look of things, it's just I don't see them being back anytime soon, because it doesn't look good. They play against the Chelsea side over the weekend on Saturday by 6:30, and we don't know the Chelsea that will be turning up against this Man City side. But if Chelsea can take their chances as a PSG took theirs today, imagine having 6 shots on target in the second half, and those 4 out of the 6 were converted as goals. If Chelsea and the likes of Jackson and Co can convert their chances when it comes, I see a Chelsea winning against the Man City. Man City, they don't have that bite. They don't have. Fine, they have a little bit of fear factor, but converted, the kind of goals they concede, you ask, what's happening? Pep Guardiola, what's happening? It doesn't look good at all. The cockroaches in the cupboard of Luis Enrique, the skeletons in the cupboard of Luis Enrique was the 4 goals they scored from the 56th minute down to the 93rd minute of that game against Man City. Looking at the league table, looking at the league format table of the UCL, it is not looking good at all for Man City. First off, from first down to 8, we have Liverpool with a 100% win record, 7 games played already, and 7 wins. They are on 21 points. They've qualified automatically for the round of 16. Liverpool won, on first place, Barcelona second, Arsenal won yesterday against Dynamo Zagreb by 3-0. Rice scored, Havertz scored, and Odegaard finally found at the back of the net, making it 3-0 in favor of Arsenal. They returned back to winning ways at the Emirates. It's not been a good one for them. A couple of games played at the Emirates, but finally, their fans had a cause to smile last night against a toothless Dynamo Zagreb side. So Liverpool on first place, Barcelona on second place, Arsenal on third place, Inter Milan on fourth place, Atletico Madrid on fifth place, AC Milan are on 6th place, Atalanta are on 7th place, and finally Bayern Leverkusen are on 8th place. Now from 9th down to the 24th place, we don't have a Man City side there. We have from the 9th place, we have Aston Villa, AS Monaco. Feyenoord stunned Bayern, yes, yesterday at Feyenoord's home turf by 3-0, despite being on a 20% ball possession against the Bayern Munich. 80% ball possession. It didn't happen. Bayer Leverkusen had, Feyenoord had 3 shots on target. Those 3 shots on target were all goals. We'll get into that game in the course of this podcast. So from the 9th place, we have Aston Villa on 9th place, AS Monaco on 10th place, Feyenoord on 11th place, Lille on 12th place, FC Brest on 13th place, 14th place we have Borussia Dortmund, 15th place Bayern Munich. Real Madrid is shocked. Will I even say shocked? Real Madrid blew away RB Salzburg yesterday. They blew away Salzburg yesterday by 5-1. We will talk about that in the course of the podcast, because of this podcast. On 16th place, we have Real Madrid. 17th place, we have Juventus. 18th place, we have Celtic. 19th place, we have PSG Eindhoven. 20th place, we have Club Brugge. 21st place, we have Benfica. On 22nd place, we have PSG with that win against Manchester City. And 23rd place, we have Sporting CP. And finally, VfB Stuttgart are on 24th place. Man City are not in the first 24 places of this Champions League format after 7 games played. They've played 7 games, they've won 2, they've drawn 2, and they have lost 3. This is underwhelming. This is underwhelming for Pep Guardiola and his team and his players what exactly is wrong with Man City. This this fall down from glory, fall down from high places is not looking good at all. Man City are a side that tends to get to the semis of in the last 2-3 seasons. They always make it past. In fact, they win games in the group stage, but this is a different format, and so far it's not been okay. It's just 2 games they've won. It's just been 2 games. It's just been 2 games they've won so far. It's just been 2 games they've won so far. It's not looking good at all for Manchester City. They play Club Brugge next. The Club Brugge currently are on. Club Brugge currently are not pushovers. They're on 20th place. Club Brugge have won 3. They've lost 2. They've won. They've drawn 2. Right? They've won 3, lost 2, drawn 2. They have 11 points and they're on 20th place. I don't know how that will happen. Like I said, Man City will be playing against the Chelsea in the EPL over the weekend. And if Chelsea can convert their chances, definitely Chelsea should be getting a win against this Man City side. Man City side, I can't really pinpoint what exactly is wrong with Pep Guardiola's Man City. They've done a couple of transfers and it done well in the transfer market. Omar Mamouche from he is an attacking forward from Frankfurt. He just got unveiled today. Will he be starting against the Chelsea on Saturday by 6:30? It remains to be seen. He might come in as a sub, but then, well, let's see what happens. We have just one more game left for this league format, this UCL league format to be done and dusted. It's not good. It's not a good one. It's not a good one for Man City. It's not a good one for Man City. It's not a good one for Man City. Now, let's go on. Go over the games that was played yesterday. RB Leipzig won against Sporting CP by 2-1. Shakhtar Donetsk won surprisingly against FC Brest by 2-0. AC Milan finally won a game. Amen. AC Milan won a game. They won a game back against Girona by 1-0. The last time AC Milan won was in the Italia Super Cup. The one they won against Inter Milan. Yes. Kosenkou won against Inter Milan. Won his first trophy in less than 7 days against Inter Milan. Since then, they've just gotten 1 point from their last 2 Serie A games. In the Serie A against Cagliari, they drew that game. Against Juventus, they lost, and now they have returned back to winning ways. They are in top 8 places in the UCL, so it's a good one. Well, it's a good one for them. AC Milan versus Girona ended 1-0 in favor of AC Milan. Arsenal won against the Dynamo Zagreb. They scored 3 goals, finally returning back to winning ways at the Emirates. At the second minute, Declan Rice scored at the second minute of the game. 66 minutes, Havertz scored, and finally at the 91 minutes, 90 plus 3 or thereabout, Odegaard finally, 90 plus 1 rather, 90 plus 1 minute, that 91 minutes of the game, it was almost full time. Odegaard made it 3-0 for Arsenal. Arsenal are sitting pretty on the 3rd place of the UCL League format. It's a good one for Arsenal and their fans. Celtic won against Young Boys. Young Boys have played 7 games so far in this Champions League and they have lost all 7. So Celtic are on. Celtic won against Young Boys by 1-0. Feyenoord is the club that stunned, that shocked the world. Feyenoord won against a Bayern Munich side at home. It's 3-0. Looking at their stats, so far, Bayern had 6 shots on target, while Feyenoord had 3. There's something Jose Mourinho always say. He will tell you, take the ball possession and give me the points. If you're not decisive as a team, you can't win games. If you don't convert those beautiful chances you get, you can't win games. You would see a club having just 15% ball possession and another club having 85% ball possession. The club with 15% scores the only goal in the game and wins. They go with the 3 points, you go home with the possession. Possession can't give you points. It is the goals you score that give you points. Now, shots on target for Bayern, they had 6 shots on target. Shots on target for Feyenoord, they had 3 shots on target, and those 3 shots on target were all goals. Shots off target for Feyenoord was 3. Shots off target for Bayern was 12. It's a bad one. Possession, Bayern had 80%, while Feyenoord had 20. So out of that 20 they had, They were able to score 3 goals. That is what it entails to being efficient with the ball, being decisive, being the output. The output determines how far you would go. Their output was they were very, very clinical with the output, and that is scoring 3 goals against a Bayern side. It's terrible. It's a terrible one. It's a terrible one for them. Both teams are in the playoffs. The 16 teams that will be playing in the playoffs so far. PSG, like I said earlier, PSG stunned a Man City side. Man City threw away a 2-goal lead at the 53rd minute, and they conceded 4 goals from the 56th down to the 93rd minute of the game. Game ended in favor of PSG, in favor of the home side by 4 goals to 2. Real Madrid in their last 5 games have scored over 3 goals, 3 plus goals in their last couple of games so far. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one for Madrid. They have finally returned back to scoring, scoring from all corners. Mbappe is scoring, Rodrigo is scoring, Jude Bellingham is scoring or making assists. Vinicius is scoring. Like, they play free-flowing football. Despite having a makeshift kind of defense line and midfield, they finally, that is the beautiful thing about Don Carlo Ancelotti. In the midst of chaos, he would always find a way to make it happen, a way to make things work out. In fact, in the Copa del Rey, Real Madrid, that is on the 16th of January, Real Madrid scored 5 goals. They won that game against Celta Vigo by 5 goals to 2. In the league, in the La Liga on the 19th, just few days ago, over the weekend, Real Madrid won against Las Palmas by 4 goals to 1. In fact, that game would have ended over 7 goals to 1, if not 6 to 7 goals, if not for a little glitch here and there and VAR, offsides and all that. Now, yesterday, Real Madrid continued their impressive 3-goal plus against opposition sides. Against RB Salzburg, they won that game by 5 goals to 1. Mbappe scored, Rodrigo scored 2 goals in the first 34 minutes of the game. He scored at the 23rd and on the 34th minute with assists coming from just one man, Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham made assists in the 2 goals. Vinicius, though he got a yellow card, he might not be playing their last game. Yeah, he might not be playing their last game because, of course, he has gotten an accumulation of yellow cards. Mbappe scored in the second half at the 48th minute. Vinicius then continued with a goal scoring trend. He scored at 55th minute and also at the 77th minute of the game, of the clash against tuteless RB Leipzig. Yes, Leipzig. RB Salzburg, yes, they scored a goal at the 85th minute. It was more like a consolation goal instead of them leaving the Los Blancos without a goal. The game ended 5 goals to 1. So it's a good one for Real Madrid. Yes, they will be playing in the playoffs. Yeah, they'll play in the playoffs, but then getting that win was really, really decisive for them. So they've gotten 4 wins now, 3 defeats, 4 wins, and no draw. So hopefully they will go all out to win their last game of this league phase. It's not looking good once again for Manchester City. Well, probably they might get a win against one of these clubs. Maybe a Celtic or a PSV might drop. You never can tell. You never can tell. All the same, it's just 8 points. They are on 25th place with just 8 points from 7 games played. That is terrible. That's terrible. That's a terrible one. We also got a couple of games that was played as well in the Europa. We got a couple of games that was played in the Europa League yesterday. Yes. Besiktas won against the Athletic Club in the Europa League. This is the first time Besiktas side will be scoring 4 goals in the Europa League this season, or in games this season. They just recently unveiled a new coach in the person of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He used to be Manchester United's head coach. Yes. So Besiktas won. He kicked off his managerial career at Besiktas with a 4-1 victory against Athletic Club. We've got games that will be played today in the Europa League. We've got over 8 games to be played in the Europa League. Yes. AZ Alkmaar will take on AS Roma by 6:45. Bodo Glimt will take on Maccabi Tel Aviv by 6:45. FC Porto will take on Olympiacos by 6:45. Fenerbahce will take on Lyon by 6:45. Hoffenheim will take on Tottenham Hotspur. I'm still surprised or shocked that Ange Postecoglou is still the head coach. For Tottenham. But people will be like, fine, if you sack him, who else will be replacing him? Who else is there? Are there managers out there that will replace him? Hoffenheim will take on Tottenham Hotspur by 6:45. Malmo FF will take on FC20 by 6:45. Krabak FK will take on FCSP by 6:45. Victoria Pilsen will take on Anderlecht. Eintracht Frankfurt will take on Venvakaros by 9 p.m. Elfsborg will take on Nice. Lazio will take on Real Sociedad by 9 p.m. These games are 9 p.m. games. Ludogorets Razgrad will take on FC Midtjylland by 9 p.m. Manchester United will take on Rangers. Manchester United at Old Trafford, it's not been it. It's been a theater of nightmare, not a theater of dreams, because they've been losing left, back, right, center. It's not been good. They win against, get good results or impressive results against top sides and end up, scuffling their lines or end up losing against the small sides. Manchester United will take on Rangers. Though in the Europa League, they've been quite impressive in the Europa League. Yeah, they are on fifth. They are in the first top five, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, they are on top 7 rather. They are on 7th place with 12 points. So far, they've played 6 games, they've won 3, they've drawn 3, and they are one of the sides that is yet to test a defeat in this competition, in this league format, stage. Rangers are also on 11th place. They've lost 1 game. They've won 3. The same number of wins for Manchester United. Same number of wins, but they've drawn less games. 2 games and 1 defeat. Let's see what will be happening at Manchester United's home turf by 9 p.m. It is Man United versus Rangers by 9 p.m. PAOK FC will take on Slavia Prague by 9 p.m. RFS will take on Ajax by 9 p.m. And finally, we have Union Gilionis, yes, USG, I call it USG, Union Center Gulaise, yes. USG, yes, USG. We call it Gilois, yes. Union Saint Gilois versus SC Praga, yes, versus SC Praga. What are your predictions for these games? I say if I'm to predict the games for today, Man United should win against Rangers. I don't see a reason as to why they won't win. One of the most interesting games for tonight is the Lazio versus Real Sociedad game. It's going to be quite interesting. And we'll see how Frankfurt would cope without their talisman. Omar Mamouche, so far scored 18 goals and 13 assists for Frankfurt before joining a Manchester City side. He was unveiled a few minutes ago today, having completed his medicals and all that. Well, he's now a Manchester City side. So I want to see how Frankfurt will cope without their talisman. For the table in the Europa League, we have top of the league is Lazio on top of the league. Athletic Club on 2nd place. Anderlecht on 3rd place. Lyon on 4th place. Galatasaray on 5th place. Eintracht Frankfurt on 6th place. Manchester United on 8th place. Then for the playoffs part, we have on 9th place we have Tottenham Hotspur, FCSB, Ajax, Real Sociedad, Bodo Glimt, AS Roma, Olympiacos, and Ferencváros, Victoria Pilsen, Besiktas, FC Porto, AZ Alkmaar, USG Gilionis, that's Union Saint Gilionis, and that's on 21st place. On the 22nd place, we have Fenerbahce, which is quite wow. I don't understand what Jose Mourinho is doing at 22nd place. Fine. They're on 22nd place. PAOK FC on 23rd place. And finally, FC Midtjylland on 24th place. The likes of Maccabi, Hoffenheim, Malmo, FC20, Slava Prague, Nice, Dynamo Kiev. They are all at the tail end. I don't see them qualifying from this group. Like, it's from here they start going home. No more Europa League competitions if they lose their last game. So games will be played today, and finally the finals of the league stage games will be played on Thursday. For Europa on Thursday next week, and for the Champions League on Wednesday next week. What are your predictions for today's games? Kindly state your predictions in the comments section. By 4 p.m., we'll be having a guest on the show. We will be talking about the NWFL games, the Nigerian Women's Football League games that went down yesterday. It is the second game of the 2024-2025 season. Yes, it's the second game that was played yesterday. We had a couple of results, and I'll be having a guest on the show. We will talk about that. We'll talk about the WSL. We'll talk, a whole lot to talk about the transfer markets in the EPL. We'll talk a whole lot about a lot of things. But basically, it's going to be women football and others. Yes, women football and others. So by 4 p.m., don't ensure definitely as soon as we are done recording, definitely we'll share, but it's going to go down by 4 p.m. and it's just a 30-35 minutes show, and of course we would share it for our dear listeners to tune in and listen to us talk sports. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate, and I wish you all the very, 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 very best. I wish you all the very best. My name remains Ebere Oji, and this is Sports Hub with Ebere, live on Spotify for podcasters. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you by 4 p.m. Thank you, and goodbye.